How you doing? I would like to talk a little bit about the decision of the Supreme Court to remove race out of the equation on education, admission, especially. I would like to talk about that. The Supreme Court is out of touch with reality in America. I want to say that again. The Supreme Court, by the decision they made yesterday, it revealed that they are out of touch with the reality in the US. They decided to vote against admitting students based on race, with race being a consideration into the equation. Using the affirmative action, the US has allowed opportunity for minorities, either blacks or Hispanics or Asian, to get a better chance at competing with the majority Caucasian. You got to understand that properly. With the majority Caucasian, we know that the minorities are maybe 13% or whatever. So the Caucasian are like 80 something percent. 80 something percent. So let's imagine this. You are in a class where a group of people, they represent, let's say 85 of them out of 100, and you guys are 15, and you are competing. You take a test, the 15% of the older group, when they try the best, they have to overcome 85 in order to be among the first, which is very hard to do. So you need to understand that. The fact that the Caucasian are the majority, when they apply for school, there are more of them applying. So if they don't give a factor to favor a little bit the minority, which is the African American and Asians and Hispanics, they will not have a lot of chance of being admitted. Why? Because let's say 4,000 people apply to be admitted in a specific college, especially famous colleges. They might take 1,000. So out of that 4,000 that apply, remember the majority of them are Caucasian because the population of the U.S. have 80 something percent of Caucasian in them. You need to understand that. So out of those 4,000 people, if we take 85% of them being Caucasian, so and all of them apply, the few a group of people who apply, part of the minority, they don't stand a lot of chance of getting admitted. So the federal government has decreed the affirmative action to consider that, okay, when people apply for admission, you have to, not that those people are failing, you're not going to consider the minority who are failing, but those who qualify. Those who qualify. Let me say that President Biden has made a speech of 9 minutes that I just watched. He nailed it properly. He said it properly. He explained it to people properly. That they're not talking about the failure in the minority people, that we should give them a chance to rise. But we're talking about people who are qualified by the fact that they are minority and they are competing against majority. They will take a whole of the majority people before them. So the program is to give them the minority a chance to also emerge. We're talking again about those who qualify now. You see, the racists might be thinking that, oh, they need to have the same chance we have. You are more advantaged than them. You are at a better advantage than the minority. Because the minority can, how can you, some people they are 85 and you are 15. How can you fight with them? You can't. Let's just put it like that. There's a fight. 85 from the one camp and 15 from the other camp. You don't have a lot of chance. That's what this is all about. So the Supreme Court ruling that the affirmative action allowing black and minorities, Asians and Hispanic to have a better chance at applying to colleges. Remember, we're talking about education now. We're not talking about giving money or whatever. Education. So when they rule that the old law have to be gone and then they have to put everybody at the same level now, they are out of touch in the sense that they don't realize that racism is still going on in America. Did you hear what I just said? I'll say it again. I said they don't realize that racism is not gone. I heard Vice President Mike Pence, who said that, yeah, they allowed that 50 years ago, but he believed now that everything is good and African American have the same right as white, and then now they can compete the same way. So he's for the decision of the Supreme Court. He's very wrong. And if I were you, I would not vote for him. Because that shows that he's out of touch with the reality of America. We see every month, we see every year how they kill somebody just because they're black, how even Caucasians have come up to say that the way they treat blacks, we're talking about law enforcement especially, the way they treat black when they pull them over, they treat them worse than the way they treat their fellow whites. We saw a video of a woman who was pulled over by a cop, a white woman, who the police officer said, show me your ID card, and she said, I'm afraid to touch my bag because you might shoot me. I'm afraid if I touch my bag, you might shoot me. And the white police officer say, why do you say that? She said, because we see that you have been shooting people like that. When you ask them to get the ID card, they want to get in the bag or the glove compartment, you shoot them. And the white officer told this white woman that, who do we shoot? We shoot only black people. This is recent years that has happened. And many, many, many cases that happen on the news almost every day. That they kill somebody, the way they approach your car, the way they break into your house, and Rihanna or whatever, is it? No, not Rihanna. Oh, I forgot the name of that lady, that law enforcement lady that was killed when they broke into the house and killed her and the boyfriend. So I forgot her name, Rowena or something. I'm sorry about not remembering the name properly. But then that shows that these people are out of touch. They asked President Trump. Of course, President Trump, we all know that he's twisted up in there, and he will do everything to favor his type of race. We already know that. So he said, yeah, everything will go back on merit. It's not going on merit when you are 85 and 15. The minority are not even 15%. I'm just generalizing it like that. So it shows that there is still this law they have passed. Like I saw in the news, they were discussing that it will come down to the job too, because on the job, the law has allowed that when people apply, because the population of Caucasian are higher, 80-something% more than the minority will have a lot of chance. So you have to consider the race to give opportunity to somebody who is qualified. You can't forget that part of it. We're not saying somebody who is not qualified. All of them are qualified now. Now, more Caucasian than minorities. You have to give them a chance. So their family consider that you consider the race to give those minority people a little more chance. That's not the only thing just to hire him because he's black. No, he has to be qualified. So that will spill over into the work area. It will spill over into every aspect. And guess what that means? That means racism will be applied. You go to a job place where they have 500 people and you will not even see one white person because they say, well, it's based on merit and you are not qualified. But everybody knows that racism is still going on in America. It has never stopped. Up to now, 2023 that we are. It has not stopped. The way police and law enforcement and all that, the way people are treated and everything. Even I heard the testimony of a judge who retired, and in his dying bed, he was telling the nurse that was taking care of him that he has put so many African-American men in jail that don't deserve to be put in jail, because when they come to his court, he found a way to apply the law that will put them to jail. Recently, that has happened. So President Biden is very right to explain it that it's not based on unqualified minority people, no. But it just gives them a chance to rise up a little bit. And even with their affirmative action, mind you anyway, black people are not rising up to be equal to white people. They're still not, because we are still disadvantaged from the history that we carry, the slavery history and everything that happened, and then we are still struggling to emerge out of it. We don't have a lot of chance. So people, what am I saying? Don't vote for anybody that uphold that decision of the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court is very much out of touch. They are the Supreme Court of the land, and we have to obey whatever they say, but the decision has revealed to us that they are out of touch with the reality of America. Racism is still going on. Almost every day it's still going on. It's not like in the past 20 years, there has not been any judgment or any mistreatment that were revealed that it's all solely on the basis of discriminating against minorities, that they have done this or done that and all that anyway. In other words, is to say that we have seen, for example, in Minnesota, where that police killer, George Floyd, he has revealed that he simply wanted to kill the guy. And he did that because he was black, and he was found guilty and everything. So when will the Supreme Court realize that racism is still going on in America, and we need to have a way to favor the minority that are like 15%, and the Caucasians that are like 85%, and the chance of taking 85% competing with 50% is not fair. When are they going to do that? People, you need to wake up. You need to wake up and realize that just because people are called Supreme Court and justices or whatever, that doesn't mean that they have the ethical value to apply the law. You know, the law can say one thing, but ethical value can say another thing. For example, Mitt Romney, during the presidential campaign many years ago, when he was going against Obama, it was revealed that he will find loopholes in the law to avoid paying taxes to the government. He will find loophole. For example, when he make profit, instead of paying taxes on the profit, he will give some of the profit money to his children, because the loophole is that if you give a gift, cannot be taxed. So he give it to his own children so he can avoid paying tax, which is legal, but it's unethical. That you live in a country, the government need money to build road and to take care of things, and you avoid paying tax, but you want to be the president in that country where the government live on taxes. It's the taxes of people that will be taking care of you, feeding you and all that. You see, the law is one thing, but ethics to follow the law is another thing. So we need to be very careful. So this Supreme Court, who have the majority of them, 6 of them, I believe, who have voted against the affirmative action to consider race in education system, it will go down against them and their children and grandchildren. That no, you have been out of touch in such a way that you have voted against something without considering the reality. That's why I said they are out of touch with reality. So I just want to say that so we can analyze it. And we have to make sure when we want to vote for somebody, we know their motives. We know their motives. Do they know your reality? Do they know what you are going through? When you are looking for a job, and then again, 85% of Caucasians apply for it, and you guys are 15%, what is the chances that you will get it? Out of 85, they will find better qualified people than out of 15. Because the number, you don't compare like that. If it's 50-50, even if it's 40-60, the 40 you can try a little bit, but 85, for you to work hard and have higher grade and above among the people that have 85%, when you come out of the 15%, you don't stand a lot of chance. I don't know how else to explain it, man. If people don't get it, I'm sorry. If people don't get it, I'm sorry. But you and I need to understand that. And before we vote for somebody, before we uphold somebody in Senate or whatever, we have to know their motive, their way of thinking. And generally, they will not tell you. They will just hide it until you get them voted into office. And then you will see the real color. It's a pity. Racism is still in America. Racism is still in America. And the Supreme Court has confirmed that by the vote on education to favor, to give a better chance to minorities. Thank you.